of Titas of Pageantry, and for this episode, we will get to talk about the Pinoy domination at the 69th edition of Miss Universe. So please make sure you stick around. Please subscribe to the channel as well as hit that bell notification button for your weekly pageant fix. Hey guys, did you miss me? I think you do, because you've been swarming my DMs with messages of me coming back and covering pageantry. So let me give some of our viewers a context on why I'm asking why you missed me. The reason for this is because I actually posted an announcement on the Titas of Pageantry page that I will be taking a self-imposed social media break. And the reason for this is because over the past few days, it has been a little toxic. I think a lot of people are dealing, I don't know, maybe with cabin fever and this prolonged pandemic and lockdown, that everybody has gotten so nitpicky, that everybody has also gotten quite demanding. So I just felt that it might be best for my mental health to just step back a little bit and give myself a little bit of time, because as you guys have noticed, if you are followers of Titas of Pageantry, I have been very diligent in covering these pageants from the time Samantha Bernardo left Manila, and she hasn't even returned yet. So what I'm just saying is that I got a little tired. I have to adjust my sleeping patterns, because if we go ahead and focus on Rabiya in a few weeks, we will definitely have to adjust accordingly. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a treat first, because I feel like you deserve it. So the thing was that I know some people are still hung up on the fact that I am very vocal, that I'm not very like supportive. I don't think I really have to explain this. I just know that I have a relationship with Rabiya, and it's a good relationship. And it's a relationship that gives me the opportunity to have a little bit of a chat with her every once in a while. And this was what happened a few days ago. After I posted that announcement on the Titas of Pageantry page, I think she got a little concerned that I was getting stressed by, you know, some of the demands of the pageant fans. So I assured her that I'm okay. I just needed this break because there are still things that I want to complete. I want to do the decorations for this house. I want to buy more plants. I want to, you know, get my other writing jobs in order before I really devote my full attention at Miss Universe. And of course, she understood. So I caught up with her. By now, you know that she is in Florida. So if you are concerned, let's say, about her living arrangements and how everybody has access to her, and if you're concerned about her health, don't worry, because they monitor everything. Everything is planned. They're taking the necessary precautions to make sure that Rabiya maintains her fitness and her health going into Miss Universe. I'm not in the liberty to discuss whether they secured vaccine, because I heard from someone that they did, but they haven't made any announcements. So it might not be good if this one came from me, because I don't actually have the confirmation on that. But rest assured that in terms of isolation, her living arrangement now in Florida is a little different from LA, wherein they rented a house and everything was communal. In Florida, I think she is more isolated. So this definitely is in preparation for her Miss Universe stint. Now, she might transfer to the hotel around May 6th. So that gives her enough time, because if I'm not mistaken, if Miss Universe will take place on the 17th of May here in Manila, the 16th in the US, they only have about a week of pre-pageant activity. So some girls have the option to check in a little earlier, while the others can, of course, check in within the time specified by Miss Universe. So there you go. She mentioned that she passed by the venue and that she's super excited, and you could really feel her excitement even if we're just communicating through chat. Now, one of the things that we also talked about was just this escalating hatred, or this escalating concern with other pageant fans, not necessarily from the Philippines, about Filipino representation at Miss Universe. Now, I really can't say if she is affected. I just know that she is aware. So I hope that her training in, you know, shooing away the bashers and really just focusing on the task at hand. I hope that she continues to pull from that, because from what I learned, some of the other pageant fans have coordinated with our other with the other pageant fans to hate on us, and it has escalated to the point that they feel, of course, that whatever Rabiya would reach at Miss Universe will be attributed to the Filipino representation at Miss Universe. So she is, of course, aware. I don't know, again, if she is that affected. I hope not. And when I asked her if she has any messages for you guys, she just mentioned that she loves you and that she will fight for this. And from that small statement, or that short statement, I just realized that, it's really irrelevant when you guys ask me to rate how ready Rabiya is. Because based on that statement, for me, it felt like, heck, just make me, compete at my best. I mean, I feel like she is someone who cannot wait to really show us what she's got, because we have been so critical of whether she has had, ample training time, ample preparation. So I think right now she is at the point wherein, she's just really ready to compete. She's just really ready to show us what she's got. And I think she's doing really well. Her interviews are, if you're, in the center of it all. And being a lecturer and a teacher, she definitely has the gravitas to talk about education. So yeah, she loves you and she will fight for you. And we just have to trust her on that. Now comes the talk on Philippine representation. Now, a few weeks ago, Lazada became more apparent in their role as a partner. So at first, this was received negatively by a lot of people, because a lot of people felt that, we were getting two platforms to raise Rabiya's chances for the top 21 spot. Up until they clarified this and mentioned that the Lazada app is only for Philippine voters. So I think this quelled a little bit of the rumors, but it did not help when they suddenly announced Jojo Bragais as the partner for footwear. Now, for the Philippines, this means a lot. For me, I feel like it is really time for Jojo Bragais to really show what he's got and showcase this on an international level, because the hardworking Filipino girls who have been doing so well in pageantry trained using his shoes, and it might be nice to, share the love. So for me, when I learned about this, and I learned about this a little earlier than usual, I was really happy for him, because I know of his hard work. I know of what he did for Catriona's campaign. I also know what he's been doing for not just Binibining Pilipinas, not just for Miss World Philippines, but also for Miss Universe Philippines, if I'm not mistaken, also for the girls of Miss Earth. So we have Jojo Bragais, shoemaker, shoe designer, who is able to unite, these organizations in pageantry and just wear his shoes and train in his shoes comfortably. So if I'm not mistaken, these shoes are really sturdy, they're stable, and they are made technically in a way that would really help you with your pasarela. So if this is a gift that we can give to the other nations or the other girls, then yeah, go for it. Now, of course, this wasn't entirely received positively by the other pageant fans, because it is inevitable for them to feel like we're dominating, or that we're infiltrating Miss Universe. But let me tell you what we've been doing to Miss Universe for quite some time, because it's quite significant, our involvement at Miss Universe. what we are doing right now with all of our placements, with all of these brands that are positioned at Miss Universe, for me, I see it as a mutual agreement of the Philippine trust as well as the Philippine loyalty to the Miss Universe brand. Now, we have been loyal even when we were in placing at Miss Universe. We kept on sending girls. We kept on beautifying them at the standard that we knew was, really high at that time. Now, there was also a time that we called the dark ages when we really didn't have any placements at all. But, that made us happy whenever the camera would just zoom to our girl or maybe get a little bit of a glimpse of her Philippine sash. But that's how welcoming the Filipinos are with Miss Universe, that we just want a little bit of participation at Miss Universe. And now that we are given an opportunity for the Filipino brands to be more present at Miss Universe, then yeah, why not? Now, the other countries might feel that this is a sure way for the Philippines to enter into the semifinals. Now, I'm not gonna counter you on that, but it is, of course, a possibility, but at the same time, it is also quite hard to continue doing that because that means our girls have to train extra hard, have to give themselves more time to develop, because right now there is already a stigma that the Philippine girls will continue making it to the top 20 or the top 10 because of these brands. So if this is motivation for our girls to do more than what is already considered standard for Philippine pageantry, then that might be a good idea to motivate them. Because anyway, who would want to be known as a girl with a token placement? You would want to be that someone who gets to fight for that token placement, just like what Ariela Arida did in 2013. But more on that in my next episode. So what I'm just saying is that these folks who are saying SHIT about the Philippines and the Philippine representation at Miss Universe can just SUCKIT, because here we have, a promising show. It might be glitzy and you don't really have to complain about it. Number one, because you can't do anything about it. And number two, because the Philippine brands are willing to shell out money to make sure that Miss Universe gets the show that the fans deserve. Filipino representation, by the way, guys, isn't just with the brands being partners as well as sponsors at Miss Universe. Right now, we have 3 of them. We have Lazada PH, we have O Skin Med Spa, and we also have Jojo Bragais for their footwear. But if we go ahead and look back, we have been very involved with Miss Universe. We have hosted Miss Universe thrice. We all know that we did so in 1974, we did so in 1994, and of course in 2017. So in 2017, that alone was just the perfect setting to get to know potential sponsors, because we were really busy in 2017, not just taking care of the girls, but also, getting to know these companies and network connections that might actually help in the business of beauty pageantry. So that's where even, some private sectors also came in, and I think there definitely is love for Miss Universe. I mean, they don't call the Philippines Miss Universe country for nothing, right? So in 2016 and in 2008 to 2017, this was the time that the LCS group of companies really became more involved. In fact, they were so involved that they shouldered a large chunk of the production and the staging cost of Miss Universe. So this was actually the time that it started. Now in 2019, even if a lot of people are like, being very noisy on social media now, you guys don't actually realize that in 2019, O Skin via Miss Olivia Quido Co. Was arranged in 2019 as one of the principal sponsors at Miss Universe. And of course, I don't know if you've forgotten about this, but Jojo Bragais was not the only one who provided footwear or provided something for the actual show. In 2019, the LA-based label GCASH provided the swimsuits for the girls at Miss Universe, and the label is actually co-owned by a Filipina. So as early as 2019, we were already there. So what I'm just saying is that there is cause to be suspicious, because that's what usually happens when you have one country dominating a field, may it be in sports, in business, and in this case, beauty pageantry. Everything will be questioned. But Jojo Bragais, in one of his interviews, did mention that the sponsors are not the judges. They are not paying the organization, or they're not donating large sums of money just so they can make their pick. I mean, because that would be weird, right? I mean, I'm sure that the organization is sensible enough to think of a winner that would not taint the reputation of these sponsors. So they have to pick a winner with good moral character, with good representation, hardworking, of course, facially beautiful, physically beautiful, and things like that. But they have to pick a winner who could represent Miss Universe as a brand, as well as represent, these sponsors that came in. So it is not sponsor driven, but at the same time, consideration is made because of the sponsors. So for me as a pageant analyst, with very serious concerns that we might be losing steam after 10 years of placing consistently, well, the presence of these sponsors and partners in a way gives me more hope that we would continue placing, because we have to put it out there. Everybody is thinking the same thing. Might as well think of the same thing, because that's exactly how I view, let's say, the partnership with UC 1000 in Indonesia. There are, one of the reasons why I feel like I'm, such a hot topic in Indonesia is because I'm pretty vocal in saying that I feel like some of their girls did not deserve placements in the semifinals. But because that it's okay, it doesn't really matter whether you have Filipino representation there, because guys, it's not gonna look good when you have all of these Filipino names and then you get crowned as Miss Universe and you're from the Philippines just because of that. Of course, because you are magnified under the invisible magnifying glass of the other fans from the other countries, the more you have to perform even better than your predecessors. So it's actually added challenge for us Filipinos and, a Filipino representative at Miss Universe. But in terms of making things pretty, in terms of, keeping things in order, I feel like the other pageant fans should just chill and be thankful that they have these Filipino brands willing to lend a hand to keep the show running. So there you go.